These are my blue light blocking glasses, and I wear these at nighttime to protect my melatonin. If you have been in like a weight loss journey, you're struggling to lose weight, one of the biggest factors that you're probably running against is very low endogenous production of melatonin at night. And so I wear these at nighttime, and what this does is it blocks blue light because blue light will stimulate my cortisol. I do not usually wear these during the day, but I was wearing them right now for the video. But basically, that's why I go outside in the morning, and why you could go outside in the morning as well, because we want to get a healthy cortisol spike in the morning time. And then what typically happens is when we get these nice, easy little cortisol spike in the morning, we have melatonin levels come up higher at night. A lot of the times people's circadian rhythms, if your hormones are out of whack, your circadian rhythm is out of its functioning, if your menstrual cycle, autoimmune, anything like this, then we're usually getting like a high cortisol spike in the afternoon, in the nighttime. And we don't really want this, because this is going to stimulate our wakeful hormones, and we want our wakeful hormones to be in the morning, during the day, during the light, and we want our rest and digest and melatonin hormones to be higher at nighttime. So melatonin is so important for so many reasons. It is the main regulator of the nervous system, so it's the balance between the parasympathetic state, which is the rest and digest, and the sympathetic state, and this is all related to the sleep stages that we go through at night. So melatonin is equally correlating with the delta wave, or the deep sleep state that we experience at night. And this trails into the next morning, so having a healthy cortisol bump in the next morning and insulin sensitivity the next day. So a lot of you guys who are out of your hormone and circadian rhythms, struggling with something, you likely are battling with insulin resistance. And so melatonin that's the horse you want to bet on in the fight of your circadian rhythm, is getting that endogenous melatonin up. Notice I said endogenous. Endogenous means to create from within. We have healthy little populations of gut bacteria that will produce all of these neurotransmitters and hormones. So it's just a matter of, are you feeding your healthy gut bacteria or are you not? It's very simple. So what is dropped one. Where does melatonin come from? Well, this was that amino acid tryptophan that I always talk about. So if you can get more tryptophan in your diet, again, this is going to be animal-based sources of protein. Your body is also, you must turn the key. So getting in the sunlight to help bring down tryptophan, getting enough exercise, healthy habits, staying hydrated. But getting more tryptophan is going to help you create the base. It's going to help give you the keys for a highly likely possibility or scenario that we will build more serotonin, that we will build more melatonin, because that is the breakdown of how it goes. Tryptophan can break down to another pathway. I always talk about that. So it's so important to engage with the food diet, not just like, you have to put some effort. You don't have to put, you don't have to go to the gym and squat 300 pounds, right? You could just go in the sunlight and help that break down, help that tryptophan break down, right? Getting on a good sleep schedule, we secrete, melatonin is basically darkness. So when it's dark, your melatonin is wanting to come up at night. That's why blue light blocking glasses are great. And I'll tell you, my first pair I bought were fake and I didn't know it. So it's really important that if you're gonna spend the money, and like I say with ingredients as well, if you're gonna spend the money, make sure that you go the extra mile, peep the ingredients, peep the reviews on the products, because a lot of things are unregulated at this time. So we wanna get that endogenous melatonin up. So getting the precursors like tryptophan, animal-based proteins, regenerative farmed, so out in the pasture, in the sunlight. When the animals that we eat, it's really important that they have sunlight exposure, just as important as it is for us, because sunlight exposure is a huge part of our immune function. Vitamin D is a huge part. Vitamin D is more like a hormone, and every single cell uses vitamin D, and it's so important that it's just quite obvious to look at all the diseases that we have If you look at any disease, it's low in vitamin D. So, you know, getting out in the sunlight is so important for so many reasons. It's also free, and even if you can only get out one time a week, that's better than nothing. So you just have to do what you can. You don't have to go out for hours of the day. Even if it's in the morning, a quick 2 minutes, catching that gaze from the sun. Our bodies are so smart, so we have receptors in our eyes and our brains. We have all these little cells looking out and seeing, oh, what are you doing today? Are you in the sun? Do we need to make nighttime hormones, right? Because when we go in the sunlight, we make the most melatonin. It's crazy. Going in the sunlight is the best thing for your gut bacteria, all this stuff, and it's free. So, you know, your cells are always watching. That's what they're watching for. So they're just kind of like blind little entities feeling around. That's the whole point of like our hormones circulating in our blood, is that our cells are waiting for signals to basically produce the genetic pathways that you are allowing from your environment. So epigenetics, our disease states are all based on our environmental factors. And so that includes like if you're very stressed or not. So you always want to be, if you consider yourself an anxious person, which I've been hearing that a lot lately, a lot of people I meet right now, I'm such an anxious person. We're all pretty anxious. That's why we have a nervous system, so that we can protect ourselves, and we're always on guard, but it's our ability to self-regulate, to come back down into that more peaceful state. That is the resilient part of things, right? You can drop the ball, but keep picking it up and keep going. So it's the resiliency factor of that. And, you know, if you do have anxiety, if you do struggle with it, just remember, the sunlight is free, and those amino acids, that's what you want to spend your money on. I'm always big on economic efficiency, so that's why I choose an animal-based diet, because I can really get the most amount of micronutrients per dollar. And those fats, you just can't beat those fats. Check out Dr. Mary Newport's work. Again, diabetes and Alzheimer's is, dementia and Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3, which is fascinating. And things like the ketogenic diet was first found to help treat people with epileptic seizures. So it's fascinating how these fats and these proteins, these micronutrients work with our mitochondria to help really ramp up the energy production, because if you don't have your mitochondria working, you are like 75% down on energy, which most people are. And if you are struggling with an autoimmune issue as well, it's so important to get as many micronutrients, as many amino acids and fats in the diet as possible to help put the cells back into a safe and strong state. So anyway, the blue light blocking glasses are great. Very, very passive health tip. Very magnificent benefits. And you can also tint your phone. Just Google how to tint my phone screen red, and there's shortcuts to triple click so that you can get your phone screen red. And this is something that I do too. In case I don't have my glasses, I don't slip and trip, just tint my phone down a little bit, and I really see a difference because I track my sleep from my Aura ring. So I have noticed a difference, and that's why I continue to do these practices, because I do believe not only I've seen the data that it's given me, but I also feel better. My skin is healthier, I don't know, my posture is better, everything. So hope that this video was helpful for you in some way. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe. My Venmo is down below if you'd like to donate. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. I spent a lot of time researching and reading, trying to get this information together here. So if you want to donate, thank you. And as always, good luck.